Today I'm going to talk about the TV show Dollhouse created by Joss Whedon. It is like the perfect science fiction show as it smartly combines this sort of futuristic technology with social commentary. The story of this show revolves around a woman named Echo who is a doll residing in the LA dollhouse. Let me explain what being a doll means. It's for the most part a voluntary process where a person's personality and memories are wiped out of their body and they are left in a childlike state. They can be imprinted or filled with any personality that is required. It is a service provided to the wealthy and elite to fulfill an array of things referred to as engagements that range from sexual fantasies to heists. When they're not in an engagement, they reside in a place called the Dollhouse, which is basically a spot for the dolls. And there's also a lab where they get imprinted. There are dollhouses across the nation, but the show focuses on the LA one. The main character is Echo, who is the best doll of the dollhouse, the most requested, and probably the most brightest of the bunch. Her analytical skills go beyond her imprint and she starts to develop a consciousness and she starts to become self-aware, which is bad for the dollhouse. The show also focuses on two other dolls named Sierra and Victor. They have this really interesting backstory, but what is really important about them is the relationship. They have this strong affection for each other that goes beyond memories to an almost unconscious level. Even when they have someone else's personality and memories, they still yearn for one another, which is kind of really sweet. There's also a doll named Alpha, who only comes out in a few episodes. He sort of plays a secondary villain who, before the events of the show start, became psychotic and went off serial killer on the dollhouse. He sort of has a Joker-like personality, just once again very psychotic. He makes for a very worthwhile villain and I just enjoy him. Now for the dollhouse employees. First off, we have Adele DeWitt, a British woman who is the director of the dollhouse. She's very strong-willed and wants the dollhouse to operate smoothly and keep the well-being of the dolls a priority, but at the same time, she'll do whatever she can, almost going to the extreme, to keep her job. Then we have Boyd, an ex-cop who comes in as Echo's handler or bodyguard during her engagements. He's the first one to really show he has a moral compass. He questions whether what they are doing with the dolls is right, even if they did volunteer to become dolls. He really cares for Echo more than the other handlers care for their dolls, and is sort of a father figure to her. Next up, we have my favorite character, Topher, who is the programmer of the dollhouse, and the reason why the doll technology and the mind wipe technology is so advanced. He is a genius and also functions as the comedic relief. Whenever he asks for a juice box, and when he just shows his nerd boy mannerisms, I can't help but crack a smile. He's he's the most amoralistic character in the show, but at the same time the most purist, if that makes sense. Finally, we have Ballard, an FBI agent who is investigating alleged reports of a dollhouse, because in the world the show sets up, the dollhouse is sort of a government conspiracy like what Area 51 is to us. Ballard is the Fox Mulder of the show. He's basically the shame of the FBI. Without giving too much away, he believes he's far away from the truth, but he's actually closer than he knows or is comfortable with. There are three storylines interwebbed in the show: Echo gaining a consciousness and self-awareness, Alpha trying to sabotage the dollhouse, and the overall one, which is how far awesome the corporation behind the dollhouse will go with the technology. So throughout the show, the dollhouse employees, DeWitt, Boyd, and Topher, go through moral dilemmas, and it's really interesting how they deal with them, because due to their job, they're not really supposed to have these sort of morals. Dollhouse raises some very interesting questions about human nature and whether humans should really use these scientific medical advances just because they've been invented. And do the ends justify the means? This is a very thought-provoking show, and that's why I love it. Also, the acting was superb, so underrated, especially from the actors who portrayed the dolls, because the dolls would get a new personality. So the actors basically had to act like a different person, and they did it so well. I honestly believed I was watching someone else. Like, on several occasions, Victor would be imprinted with Topher's personality. The actor just did a fantastic job and got him right. I give Dollhouse an A+. It was such an amazing show that was crafted so well. If you're a Joss Whedon fan, I recommend this without a doubt. And even if you aren't a Whedon fan, you should watch it. Trust me, you'll fall in love with the characters and the story. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Don't forget to comment down below and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.